My live. My name is Joyce Fields. I am 81 years old, and I do lives Monday through Friday here on YouTube. This is my 17th YouTube live. I came over from TikTok. On TikTok, I have done over 500 lives, TikTok lives. And I love doing these lives. They're very popular. So if you're on TikTok, check me out. It's JJ Fields, the letter J, Fields, Fields, and the number 7. And I post some of the comments that people make about my lives. My moderators send me comments, screenshots of comments, and I post them on my TikTok. But now, because TikTok is changing its rules, or this month, and also raising the price to subscribe. Subscription is free here on YouTube. And I have 550 some subscribers, and I have to have 1,000 in order to bring guests up. So subscribing is free, and I think that you will enjoy being a subscriber because I share 4 pillars of advice, and I'll get to that in a few seconds. But now I told you I've done over 500 TikTok lives. So I came over, I did my last TikTok live on August 29th, and I did my first YouTube live on Monday, September 1st. So that the way it timed out. So the last TikTok live was Friday, August 29th, and the first YouTube live was Monday, September 1st. I just love the way that the universe did that. So now YouTube says that I have 8 people on here. And I would like to know, hopefully y'all will give me some responses. I would like to know how you learned that I was live. Now on TikTok, when I did my lives 6 days a week, Sunday through Friday, an hour and a half, just like I do here on YouTube. I do an hour and a half. But TikTok would send a message, thank you, would send a message to the live creator that said, we are notifying viewers that you're live. So YouTube doesn't do that. We don't get, as live creators, we don't get any kind of a notice that they're notifying viewers that we're live. So I am curious to know, and I don't know that much about social media. I'm 81 years old, and I know how to do lives, okay? I do these lives that I share advice that I have gained. So, okay, so some people have said that, Ken. Thanks for the response. Just was flipping through, and you came on. So if y'all want to, I am always too blessed to be stressed. If y'all want to learn, I'm just going to go and jump ahead, but I'll come back. If y'all want to learn how to develop and maintain a positive attitude, stay here. If y'all want to learn, I do 4 pillars. The first pillar is develop and maintain a positive attitude. The second pillar is, now if y'all want to learn how to increase your own level of patience, stay here. And if you are raising toddlers and you want to learn how easy it is to teach them patience, stay here. And pillar number 3 is stay calm. If you want to learn the advantages of staying calm, stay here. And also the 4th pillar, if you want to learn the 4 words, okay, you're going to hear a lot of stuff that you never heard before on this live. And also the 4 words that can immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, anger, frustration, all of that ugly stuff. And I'll tell you what those 4 words are when I get to the fourth pillar. So now I told y'all my name is Joyce Fields. I'm 81 years old, or 81 years wiser, as I was recently told. No, I don't deal with the Bible, no religion, and no politics. I can't stand either one. So I don't deal with either one. So, all right. So, like I'm telling you, nope. Oh, I really understand. I know that. I feel it. So now, here is, okay, I'm 81 years old. I use the advice that I share with y'all. I live it every single day. I have been living the advice that I share with y'all since I was about 10 years old. That's a long time. I'm 81 years old now. So I know that it works. And I have been gifted with the ability, all of us have been given gifts. And typically, your gift is something that you do well and something that you enjoy. So take advantage of your gifts. And I have more than one as well. So I have been gifted with the skill, the gift, really, of being able to communicate philosophies, concepts, ideas, all of that kind of stuff from my mind to y'all's mind. Now, stay tuned and you will see the proof of this. Now, I share, like I said, 4 pillars of advice. Everybody on my lives, I think, would like to do something to contribute to making the world a better place. Okay? Now, give me some thumbs up if that is the case. Come on, give me some thumbs up, y'all, if you would like to contribute to making the world a better place and it doesn't cost you 1 penny, okay? Give me some thumbs up if you would like to contribute to making the world a better place and it doesn't cost you 1 penny. Give me some thumbs up, y'all. So I'm going to keep going with what I'm saying. Now, I don't know what that means. Okay, good. Thank y'all. Appreciate that. Now, don't you think that if more people developed and maintained a positive attitude, that the world would be a better place? And I'm going to tell y'all how you do it. That's pillar number 1. Pillar number 2, don't you think that if more people increase their level of patience, that the world would be a better place? I'm going to tell you exactly how you do that if you are 10 years old or older. And I'm also going to tell you how you do it if you are raising toddlers. Very easy, okay? Pillar number 3, don't you think the world would be a better place if more people stayed calm? Okay. That's pillar number 3. Now, the last pillar, pillar number 4, don't you think that if more people remember the 4 words that can immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, anger, frustration, if more people were doing that, remember what those 4 words are? And I'll tell you what those words are, those 4 words are, when I get to the 4th pillar. Now, I want y'all to spread the word because I'm telling you, the advice that I share works. I have used it since I was 10 years old, and I'm 81 years old now. The advice that I share will help y'all to undifficult your life. Thank you. So, a lot of y'all are making y'all's lives a whole lot more difficult than they have to be. Okay, so now, pillar number 1, develop and maintain a positive attitude. I don't know if y'all ever even thought about it, but there are only 2 attitudes that you can have, just 2. There's no third one or fourth one, or 2. A negative attitude or a positive attitude. Okay? A negative attitude or a positive attitude. That's it. What I have observed in my 81 years of living is that you do not choose to have a negative attitude. What I have observed is here's what happens. If you don't choose to have a positive attitude, then you will almost automatically have a negative attitude. Because a positive attitude is a deliberate, on purpose, intentional choice that you must make. You have to choose to have a positive attitude. And like I said, if you don't choose to have a positive attitude, hi everybody, then you almost certainly will have a negative attitude. It's almost like it's a default because you must choose to have a positive attitude. The way you choose to have a positive attitude is you write a program. And this is what you say out loud. You say all of your programs out loud. Thank you, Amal. You say all of your programs out loud. Here's what you say. Real simple, real easy. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. I'm going to repeat that. Say it out loud. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. And mean it from the bottom of your heart and soul and spirit and everything. And then I'm going to give you some more information about negative attitude, positive attitude, and give you some information on how you can guide yourself into it. I don't do religion, not on my live. I can't stand religion nor politics, okay? So, now, negative attitude, positive attitude. You choose to have a positive attitude. If you don't choose to have a positive attitude, you almost certainly will have a negative one, okay? So you write a program. Now, what that program says is, from now on, that means doesn't matter where your attitude was 5 minutes ago. It doesn't matter where your attitude was yesterday, last week, last month, last year. I don't care where your attitude was. It says, your program says from now on, and I'm telling you, you can choose to have a positive attitude at any minute of your life or in any minute of your life, you see? So it is a choice, and it's hanging out there for you to make that choice anytime you please. So here's what you say. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Now, I don't play those kind of word games. So if you're serious about developing and maintaining a positive attitude, that's the way you do it, okay? From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Say it out loud. There are those that say you say it in your mind. I said, no, Joyce Fields says say it out loud. If you say it only in your mind, that's only one element that you are using. When you say it out loud, that is 3 elements that you are using. You're speaking it out of your mouth, you're hearing it with your ears, and it gets plastered into your psyche. That is why you say it out loud. And I'm going to give you more information on that as I get into my live. I'm on here until around 5:30, okay? So 90 minutes. And I'm going to cover the 4 pillars. So it's a choice. You absolutely have to choose to have a positive attitude. And like I said, if you don't choose to have a positive attitude, you lay yourself kind of like you're vulnerable, more vulnerable to having a negative attitude. It's like a default, okay, for real. So now, I'm going to show you what a negative attitude looks like. You heard me correctly. I'm going to show you what a negative attitude looks like. On the count of 3, I'm going to show you. 1, 2, 3. Here's what a negative attitude looks like. These are the kind of people that say, woe is me, my life sucks. I can't stand this, I can't stand that. Complain, complain, complain. In the meantime, what my hands are doing, this is what I call a helpful hand visual. And I'll explain what a helpful hand visual is after I finish with this one. Okay, so now, what this is doing, this helpful hand visual, these are positive elements flying through the universe. Constantly, there are positive elements flying through the universe, constantly, at all times. But when you say this program, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Now, in combination with the positive elements that are going over your head now, because you have a negative attitude, this is what happens when you say that program. From now on, I'm going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. On the count of 3, I'm going to show you what will happen. Here you go. Now, you see? What was flying over your head because you had a negative attitude is now making contact with your psyche. You understand? Now, was I successful? I don't do religion on my lives. If you talk about Jesus and the Bible and all that kind of stuff, you will be removed. So I hope that you won't go into the religion stuff. I'm telling y'all now because people on here now will be removed, okay? Or whatever my moderators do. My moderators do their jobs, okay? So if you're thinking about putting up some stuff about religion or politics, and you want to hear what I've got, whatever else I've got to say, then don't do that. I don't deal with religion or politics. I can't stand either one. They serve no useful purpose, okay? So, I talk to God all day long, and God ain't got no religion, okay? So now, where was I? I'm always about negative attitude, positive attitude. So, oh, yeah. I wanted to ask the question, was I successful in conveying that helpful hand visual to y'all? Now, it's called a helpful hand visual. I told you that I would explain what a helpful hand visual is. One live this year that I was doing, and I've done over 500 TikTok lives. This is only my 17th YouTube live. I came from TikTok because they were going to change their community guidelines, and now I have a problem trying to cooperate with those, and they upped the price for subscription. Now here on YouTube, subscription is free, and I need 1,000 subscribers before I can bring guests up. I bring guests up on TikTok. I brought them up. When you use the advice that I share, you come up as a guest to share how you are using the advice and tell what kind of a difference it's making in your life. Or I'm also an author, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. Go to goodshortbooks.com. The link is in my profile. I'll talk about the books in a few minutes. If they have read any of the books at goodshortbooks.com, you can come up as a guest. But like I said, I need 1,000 subscribers in order to have people come up as guests. So where was I? Oh, yeah, I was talking about the helpful hand visual. So one of my lives, one of the viewers, her name is Jessie Knott. She said, these visuals are so helpful, quote unquote. These visuals are so helpful. So what she was talking about was gestures that I do with my hands, and in combination with words that are coming out of my mouth. I just did that helpful hand visual for y'all. And it conveys I communicate what from my mind to y'all's mind. So I was asking y'all, was that helpful hand visual helpful, as Jessie and I said? Come on, give me some responses. YouTube says I have 52 people on here. Come on. Give me some. Oh, good. Somebody said yes. Okay, come on. I'll do more as I go along. Okay. Okay, some people are saying yes, so that's ones I'm concerned with. Wonderful. Okay, I can't help it. If you didn't understand it or didn't get it, I do this live every Monday through Friday, and I do the same 4 pillars, but every live that I do is different. Okay, good. Thank you so much. Okay, well you missed that one, so you'll have to come back because I don't go back over what I've already done. Okay, so now, I also want to tell you, if you're thinking about being a troll on my live, that's not tolerated either. And it doesn't bother me. It really shows how immature, and I can't even think of what other word without being insulting. It shows how immature you are. It doesn't bother me. You are the kind of person that really and truly needs to hear what I have to say. If you're thinking about trolling me, I think that a troll lives a very pathetic life. Think of that. Now, if you get pleasure out of being cruel to other people, out of being insulting to other people, how pathetic can you be? So now, and I have had trolls apologize to me, for real, okay? I have had trolls apologize to me. So now, if you're thinking about trolling me, it doesn't bother me and you will be removed. But I'm going to repeat, trolls are the exact kind of people that really need to hear the advice that I share. So now, if you're thinking about trolling, stop it and listen. And if you do, then you will be removed. Okay, now. I was telling y'all. Okay. When you have a positive attitude, what I was doing like that, these are positive elements that are flying through the universe at all times. When you have a positive attitude, they hit into your psyche. All kinds of good things happen to people who have positive attitudes. It's just amazing. So you are more attuned and more in tune. Okay, thank you. With having a positive attitude. So you have to choose to have a positive attitude. Now, a lot of y'all don't know that you have a negative attitude. I'm going to read you a list of words that will help you to identify people in your life who probably have a negative attitude. And I'm going to also read you a list of words that will guide you on your path to having a positive attitude. Oh, yes, it most certainly is a choice, but you must deliberately choose to have a positive attitude. But now I'm going to read you a list of words that will help you to identify people in your life who probably have a negative attitude or who probably lean towards the negative. And it might be you. But like I told you, you can choose to have a positive attitude at any minute of your life. It's never a lost cause. It's always a choice. So now here are the words. These words are like personality traits or personality characteristics. Okay, you want to hear all of this stuff that I'm going to be saying. It's going to help you a lot. So now here are the words: anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt. I don't preach, I share. Resentment and holding grudges, inferiority, lies and dishonesty, false pride, superiority, and the last word is ego. Yeah, ego. Okay. Now back up to the top. The very first word is anger. Anger. Do you know people who are full of anger? People who are angry? Oh, thank you, Sakai. Are you the one who is full of anger? Who is angry? That's negative. How about resentment and holding grudges? Hi, Croatia. Do you know people who are full of resentment? People who hold grudges? Is it you who is full of resentment, who holds grudges? That is negative. But I'm going to come back up to that one. How about lying and dishonesty? Lies and dishonesty. Do you know people who lie? People who are dishonest? Are you the one who is the liar? Who is dishonest? That is negative. Okay, so now going back up to resentment and holding grudges. If you are full of resentment and if you hold grudges against other people, I'm going to tell you something that you probably have never heard. Get ready? Okay, here you go. You are living in the past. You are living in the past. You are carrying something that happened. Past tense, there is nothing that the people who did that to you can do to change it. There is nothing that you can do to change it. So why carry it? You can't do anything about it. It happened. It's in the past. The only option you have for a better future is to forgive them. I don't care who it was. I don't care what they did. Don't try to qualify it, quantify it, none of that stuff. Okay, so I don't care who it was and I don't care what they did. You must forgive them because when you hold on to unforgiveness, when you hold resentment and holding grudges against other people, it's damaging you. It's damaging you. It's not doing anything to them. You're not punishing them because you're holding the resentment and holding grudges and stuff. It's damaging you. Here's the way it works, y'all. These are things that I call them the uglies: lying and being dishonest and full of anger and resentment and regret and guilt. All those are ugly things. And what they do is they damage the person who holds them inside. You understand? So those are ugly things, and they damage the person who holds on to them. Look around you at people that you know are full of resentment or holding grudges against other people. Look around you. In a lot of cases, those people are on pharmaceutical medications. They are not in the best of health, and they are not aging well. That is what a negative attitude can do to you. That is what holding on to resentment and holding grudges against other people can do to you. That is a fact. It creates what I call an internal, invisible burden on your cells, on your blood, on your bones, on your muscles. You understand? Yes. So if you are going into bad health, doing all kinds of stuff, think about it. If you hold on to resentment and hold grudges, you need to forgive. And I don't care if you're not going into bad health yet. That's what holding on all these ugly things can do to you. It's almost guaranteed. So If you're not holding on to this ugliness, but then this is not for you. What I'm talking about, you have to forgive them. You forget, and to forgive them doesn't mean that you go back into their lives or they come back into yours. But that's a good thing if that's what all parties want. But it just means you must forgive them. Doesn't mean that you go back and, and all that. So, but that's good if you do. Now, like I told y'all, I'm 81 years old. When I was a kid, there was no such thing as a text message, a video call, email. Oh, thank you, Wynn. So now I'm telling you that to tell you this. You can use any of those things. Text message, video call, email, to tell the people you forgive them. But you must forgive them. So it's lightening your load. Now, if you don't want to have anything else to do with them ever again in your life, another thing too. A lot of people will tell you to forgive and forget. Hell no. Hell to the no, okay? You don't ever forget. You would be an idiot to forget. You forgive, but you don't ever forget. You keep it on the stove, on the back burner. Oh, good. Thank you, Two Doves. I got to take a screenshot of that. Thank you. You keep it on the stove, on the back burner, but you must forgive them. Now, I'm going to tell you how, if you don't ever want to have anything else to do with them, you can forgive them by saying it out loud to the universe. You heard me correctly. You can forgive them by saying it out loud to the universe, or whatever you call God or your higher power, whatever you call it, okay? Okay. Hey, Nairobi, Kenya. So now, here's what you say out loud to the universe. No, I'm not ready for that one yet. I want to tell you about this part. So think about this, y'all. The universe or God or whatever you call your higher power was there when the mess happened to you. You understand? So you probably never even thought about that. The universe was there. It knows. Whatever you call your higher power, okay? It knows. So now, when I say this on all of my lives, it kind of shakes some people up because it brings it to the forefront of their consciousness. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Do you know that God, the universe, or whatever you call your higher power, sees everything that you do? Do you know that God, the universe, or whatever you call your higher power, hears everything that you say? Do you know that God, the universe, or whatever you call your higher power, reads your thoughts? You see? Yes. I'm telling you right now. The higher power, God, the universe, or whatever you call your higher power, sees what you do right now. Here's what you say right now. Reads your thoughts right now. And I ask this question every live that I do. My having brought that to your attention, will that cause you to alter anything that you do, say, or think? Come on, give me some responses. Give me some responses. Y'all heard what I said. Now, the universe sees what you do, hears what you say, and reads your thoughts. Oh, I'm going to say it all the time. I always say God, the universe, or the higher power. Shouldn't bother you. Shouldn't bother anybody. It's my choice. That's what's wrong with people in this world. You get too hung up in what doesn't concern you. The way you think is the way you think. I am just trying to show you other ways that I use I tell my man all the time, we've been together 68 years. I tell him that I live an enchanted life. I tell him that I live a virtually stress-free life. And I'm going to share with y'all how I do it. It's not difficult. The title of my lives is Undifficult Your Life. A lot of y'all are making y'all's lives a lot more difficult than they have to be. Just like that person just made that comment, trying to tell me what to say about God or the higher power. That's my business, what I call it. You see, those kinds of people are busy wrapped up in other people's concerns, issues, and stuff like that. You see? So stop with that stuff. What I call it is my only concern between me and my higher power, whatever I want to call it. You see, I hope that you understand what I'm saying to you. Okay? So, yes, precisely. So now, I already got some responses, and some of y'all said yes. When I say God, I mean the universe. When I say the universe, I'm talking about God. And God ain't got no religion, none of that kind of crap. Okay? So, now I'm just going to tell y'all how I manage to live a virtually stress-free life. I don't preach, I share. Okay? So, now I was telling y'all, me and my man have been together for 68 years. 68 years. We've been married we just celebrated 58 years of marriage. And we've been together since we were both 13 years old. So I'm going to show y'all a picture. This one is 1969. We were both 25 years old. Okay? That's 1969, y'all. 25 years old. Okay. Now this picture, the next one I'm getting ready to show you, we were both 80 years old. This was taken on our 57th wedding anniversary last year. Okay? We were both 80 years old. Yeah, okay. You can do all right, whatever you want, Vera. It doesn't matter what you like as far as other people are concerned. Everybody's entitled to whatever they want. So, like I told y'all, that's part of what's wrong with this world. People are off into what ain't their business. What business is it of anybody else's, what I call God or the universe? Or what business is it of anybody else's, what I have a nickname for my man? Or, what business is it of yours? Get off that track. You're in the wrong lane. You stay in your own lane, okay? So now I'm telling you here, this is 25 years old and 80 years old. Yes. Okay, beautiful. Now, I told y'all I'm an author, and I wrote a book. And the book is entitled, The Best Way to Keep a Man is to Let Him Go, among other things. It's 64 pages, which includes 22 pages of my own recipes. And Pap says that he lives in a 5-star restaurant, and he says that I am an incredible cook. So this book, The Best Way to Keep a Man is to Let Him Go. And like I said, it's $9.99 at goodshortbooks.com. The link is in my profile. I wrote this book for young ladies that are like 16, 17 years old, but it has been reviewed. I have a lot of 5-star reviews on Amazon. And this one reviewer, she said that it's good for newlyweds as well as people who have been in long-term relationships. It's just a good read. Okay, so now my observations is that 80% of the success of a relationship rests on the shoulders of the woman. This book explains why. Now, I've got recipes in here. The last chapter is the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. I was asked many lives ago if this book is suitable for same-sex relationships. It most certainly is. If I had to retitle it, I would retitle it, The Best Way to Keep a Relationship Healthy is to Let the Other Person Go. And men are buying this book too, y'all. I think they're buying it to find out what I'm telling the ladies, okay? So now, here is this book. The Best Way to Keep a Man is to Let Him Go. And ladies, I want to say one thing to y'all. Please stop going to see these romance movies. Please stop reading these romance books and magazines. They are so full of crap. It is absolute. I read them too. That's why I'm able to tell y'all. It ain't got nothing to do with the way that relationships go. The movies don't have that stuff is total BS. So stop going to see. My pap calls them chick flicks. So don't be bothered with chick flicks, these romance movies, romance novels. They set us up. That's why I said the best way to keep a man is to let him go, among other things. They set us up. I'm telling y'all, these movies and these books and these magazines, they set us up. They set up the females. One of the chapters in here is fantasy versus reality. Okay? Fantasy versus reality. So now I wrote this book because when I was in 1957, I was 13 years old. So the females in our village, we did have a village, they schooled us on what to say and what not to say, what to do and what not to do in relationships. That was 1957. I didn't write the book until 2008. And when I noticed that the females were doing things and saying things that we were told not to do and say. So that's why I wrote the book. Here. $9.99 at goodshortbooks.com. Okay, now back to positive attitude and negative attitude. You choose to have a positive attitude. For real. You must choose. Now I read you the words. Oh, wait, I didn't finish. I remember exactly where I was. I was telling y'all how you say it out loud to the universe that you forgive somebody. Now I'm trying to remember how I got off onto the book. I don't know. But at any rate, I got it back. You forgive. I was telling y'all how, if the universe hears what you say, sees what you do, that's where I was. Now, the universe was there. God, whatever you call your higher power, it was there when the mess happened to you. So it knows what happened to you. Oh, thanks, Baz. Here's all you have to do. And I'm going to give you 4 examples of what has happened on my lives. Now, here you go. You say out loud, and it doesn't matter if other people are around you, because especially if somebody's around you that knows what happened, then they will be able to spread the word that you forgave these people. Okay, so now here's what you say out loud. Universe, I forgive so-and-so for doing such and such to me. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. You do what I did with my hand as well, because it symbolizes your touching the universe, saying, or touching spirit. Okay, here's what you say. Universe, I forgive so-and-so for doing such and such to me. Say that out loud. That's correct. Now, here's 4 things I'm going to tell you what happened on my lives this year. 4 examples. The first young lady, she said, I forgave my dad like that. And I immediately burst into tears. The second young lady, she said, I forgave myself like that. And you can forgive yourself as well. And I immediately burst into tears. The third one was a young man, and he said he forgave, and he felt a shift in his spirit. Now I'm going to save the fourth one because then the first three, especially the two that burst into tears, the reason why they burst into tears, y'all, is because, remember I said, when you hold on to unforgiveness, when you hold grudges against other people, that creates an invisible, internal burden on your soul, on your spirit. You're carrying that around. And what happens when you forgive is what the Shelster calls a pressure release valve. And it goes like this when you forgive. It releases that pressure that you were holding. You probably didn't even know you were holding it. So that is what happens when you forgive. You must forgive. You forgive for your own sake. Now, the fourth example was one of my viewers named Patricia. Patricia had been watching my lives, and she had been holding a grudge against her mother for over 40 years. She forgave her mother. Now, that's 40 years worth of Mother's Days that they didn't spend together, birthdays, all of that. This past Mother's Day, they spent it together. She came up as a guest on my live. This is when I was doing my TikTok lives. And shared with us she forgave her mother after over 40 years of holding a grudge against her mother. And they spent Mother's Day together, and I got so full, it just really moved me beyond words to know that the advice that I shared did that. That is, it's powerful. Forgiveness is powerful, okay? It lightens your spirit. It lightens your soul. Yes, always forgive. Don't ever forget. You'd be an idiot to forget. So no, don't forget, but forgive. You must forgive. So now, I'm going to ask y'all a question that you probably have never been asked before. Before I ask the question, I'm going to let y'all know that positive attitude, you can never have a positive attitude 100% of the time. You can never have a negative attitude 100% of the time. No, blue cheese, that's not, there are no, it doesn't matter what it is or who did it. They must be forgiven. Now, if you don't forgive them, it's going to damage your soul and your spirit. It's not going to do anything to them because you don't forgive them. It's not going to do anything to them. Oh, thank you. So, good morning, Janetta. So, if a lot of people choose to carry the grudge, to keep going, to keep not forgiving. So that is your choice. So, but be that as it may. But I just wish you well. So now I'm going to ask you this question. And I don't pay any attention to these stupid comments, y'all. So, and I really don't even read most of them because I'm looking over the comments, So I look down here sometimes and I see something. I'm going to tell you later on, I'm going to go into that too, okay? So, no, that's not the case. So now here, I was going to tell you that nobody can have a positive attitude 100% of the time, and nobody can have a negative attitude 100% of the time. Now, here is the question that I was going to ask you, and I'm only interested in responses that state no. You see, I'm only interested in responses that state no. Love does not remember past wrongs. No, that's not true. That's not true. It ain't about love. It's you got a mind. You got a mind. Your mind remembers. It ain't about love. Okay. No. I've been with my man for 68 years. So, that I do not buy. So, Now, nobody can have a positive attitude 100% of the time. Nobody can have a negative attitude 100% of the time. Okay? Here is the question. Like I said, I'm only interested in responses that state no. Okay. Here's the question. Do you know or did you know that you live your life by a ratio? RATIO. Ratio. I'm going to ask that question again. Oh, good. Did you know or do you know that you live your life by a ratio? Good. I'm getting some no's. Yeah, good. Okay, good. I only wanted no responses, Michael. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to explain what a ratio is and how you use it. A ratio is a very simple tool that will definitely help you to better control your life. I'm going to repeat that. A ratio is a very simple tool that will definitely help you to better control your life. You set your own ratio. Only you control your ratio. Your ratio is adjustable. Only you can adjust it. If you set it too high, you can lower it. If you set it too low, you can raise it. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you how by using my own ratio. My ratio is 80-20. People have been on my lives, they've chosen 80-20, I don't own it. Anybody can choose 80-20. So people who have been on my lives, they've chosen 75-25. Some of them chosen 60-40. Some 75, well, I said 75-25 or whatever. Y'all get the point. So one person said 50-50, so I don't like 50-50. That's too low. As far, half the time you're negative, half the time you're positive. No. So my ratio is 80-20. And like I said, I don't own it. Anybody can choose to use 80-20. Now, what that means, 80% of the time, I am happy in the positive attitude mode. 20% of the time, I can be in the negative attitude mode. You see, I didn't say I was happy, but I can be in the negative attitude mode, okay? So now, back over to the positive attitude mode. In the positive attitude mode, I honor, 80% of the time, I honor the programs that I write. 80% of the time, I do what is right, fair, honest, considerate, kind, patient, all of those things, okay? So that's what I do 80% of the time. 20% of the time, I'm okay being in the negative attitude mode, but whatever portion of your ratio you assign to that negative attitude mode, it can never include physical abuse. That means you cannot hit people. If you're hitting people, if you want to be have a positive attitude, you got to stop doing that. You cannot throw things. Second thing is you cannot be verbally abusive. You cannot cuss people out. If you're doing that, you got to stop. You cannot insult people. And then the third thing is, thanks to one of my viewers, her username is Midnight. She asked me to include tone of voice, and I was very happy to do so because it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. So you cannot use an ugly, negative tone of voice when you talk to other people. So now, as long as when you are in that negative ratio part, as long as you don't physically abuse anybody, as long as you don't verbally abuse anybody, and as long as you don't use an ugly tone of voice with anybody, you're okay. You see? So, now, can y'all use that ratio to better control your life? Come on, give me some responses. YouTube says I got 111 people on here. So I want to get some responses. Oh, thank you. Give me some responses. I don't understand what if it's being done to you. So no, I'm going to tell you some more stuff. So come on, y'all, give me some responses. Be quick with y'all's responses. Okay, good. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, so now, positive attitude. Now, these words will guide you into having or developing more positivity in your life when you want to choose to have a positive attitude. Here are the words: joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, empathy, generosity, truth, honesty, compassion, faith. Okay? Those words will guide you. Now, Spirit came to me, and when you have a positive attitude, Spirit will come to you. Inner peace will come to you. Spirit came to me and said, there's such a thing as outer peace. And I said, huh? Outer peace. I had never heard of outer peace before. Have you? I don't know. Inner peace, Spirit said, inner peace can never be disturbed. Inner peace can never be destroyed. When you have a positive attitude, inner peace is sewn into the very fabric of your spirit, of your soul. Outer peace can be disturbed. Outer peace can be destroyed. Outer peace is, I always use these two examples. If you're trying to study, if you're trying to sleep and someone is making noises, that's disturbing your peace. You're disturbing your ability to sleep or study or whatever it is. There's even a law on the books. You can call the cops on people for disturbing the peace, you see? So that's outer peace. Now, when you're talking about people in your family disturbing your peace, they're doing or saying things that disturb your peace, that's really outer peace. Unless, you see, when you have inner peace, nothing, virtually nothing disturbs you. Virtually nothing angers you. I don't get angry at anything. I get pissed off, and I overcome that relatively quickly. But I don't get angry. You see, when you have inner peace, you do not get angry. Nothing is worth your anger. I have a post on my TikTok. I still am on TikTok. I do postings on TikTok, but I do my lives only on YouTube now. I used to do TikTok lives. I've done over 500 TikTok lives. So I was saying that to say, yeah, don't get angry. There's a post on my TikTok, I was telling you about that, and it says, be kind. Anger serves no useful purpose. And it truly doesn't. So I don't get angry. I don't get angry. So now, if somebody in your family, and it's usually people in your family, is disturbing your peace, here's what I suggest, the way that you handle it. And you always deal with people kindly, respectfully. Yes, so that's fine. Now, say to them, I love y'all dearly. You know I really and truly do. But when y'all do such and such, or when y'all say such and such, that disturbs my peace. Now, when you tell them that, they are not obligated to change their behavior. But you're obligated to tell them. You're obligated to tell anybody that's disturbing your peace that they are doing that. You should not allow anybody to disturb your peace. That includes your mama. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how to deal with her as well. So now, when you tell them that, they're not obligated to change their behavior, but you're obligated to tell them. Now, you watch them and see if they change their behavior. If they don't, then that gives you an obligation to come back at them and say, you know, I love y'all. I told y'all I love y'all, but I also told y'all that when you do such and such, that disturbs my peace. Or when you say such and such, that disturbs my peace. And y'all are still doing it. Y'all are still saying it. So that leaves me no choice. And I give y'all 3 options. That's what I'm telling y'all, the viewers, okay, on my live. So option 1, you can tell them, I have to feed you with a long-handled spoon. Option 2 is, I have to love you from a distance. Or option 3 is, I have to stop coming around y'all. No, it's not hard. So it just, when you make up your mind that you're not going to have it, that's all. So it's all in your mind. If you think it's hard, then it is. But no, it's a challenge. So now, if it's your mama that's disturbing your peace. Now, remember now, all of these actions that I'm telling y'all to take place after you have written the program that says, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Somebody said, this is so good. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So this is after you make this, write this program. So now if it's your mama that's disturbing your peace, here is your mama disturbing your peace. Here you are getting your peace disturbed. You tell your mama, Mama, I love you dearly, but when you say such and such, that disturbs my peace. Or when you do such and such, that disturbs my peace. Now, some mamas will say, what peace? Some mamas will say, you ain't got no peace. Okay? So leave her alone. That's mama. Leave her alone. When you tell her that, when you write that program that says, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude, you raise your frequency. You raise your vibration. Your mama's still down here doing it, but you're no longer on this frequency, on this vibration. You see, you're up here. You're able now to look at the behavior of your mama and not allow it to bother you. You see, you're not on that vibration anymore. You're not on that frequency. You raised it when you said, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. You see? You raised your frequency. You raised your vibration. And don't allow, y'all's word is trigger. I never heard that word until probably this year or maybe last year. What the hell? Trigger. Somebody said, I ain't a gun. I ain't got no trigger. You don't have any triggers. Yeah. No, you don't have. Why would you have a trigger? Why have something that somebody can say that'll set you off? And let me tell you something. Nobody makes you angry. You don't have a trigger. People use words that they know are going to upset you. So don't give people that kind of power to trigger you. Just think, y'all. Think about it. How weak are you that somebody can say something and then you're triggered? Stop it, y'all. Stop it. Okay, so now, here's a negative attitude. Thank you. Anger doesn't have any use. It's not a useful, it serves no useful purpose. Can you think of anything, any useful purpose that anger serves? I can't think of any useful purpose that anger serves. Okay, now, this is a negative attitude. It's on lock. This is inner peace and spirit. When they come in, they can't get through because it's a negative attitude. So they turn and go away. Here's a positive attitude. A positive attitude. Inner peace and spirit. You can see what's going to happen. Okay. They get through. Not only do they get through, but then they turn and they envelop your entire being. Yes. Oh, thanks, Ryan. they're not so much, they just don't realize the strength of their spirit. I think that that's more of the case. I don't think that it's insecure. I think that, see, this just came to me as you're saying this. I think that a lot of people don't realize the strength of their spirit. They don't realize that they got muscle power to exert over any kind of problems or whatever, willpower, all of that, mental power, So more people need to become aware of the power that we have. And I'm going to talk about that in pillar number 3, which is stay calm, okay? So now, I think I'm done with pillar number 1. Oh, I want to tell y'all how you can change any behavior that you have. You cannot change other people's behaviors. And I think that that's a big part of what's wrong with this world, y'all. People are trying to change other people's behaviors. You see? So you can only change your own behavior. Now, the example I'm about to share with you, you can set it on any behavior that you have that you want to change. Now, I'm going to set this example and tell you, now it's not true, the example that I'm going to be sharing. So here is the scenario or the behavior, and then I'm going to tell you the program that I'm going to write to overcome the behavior. Okay, so now here's the behavior. I eat 10 cookies every day. It's not true. I just use this as an example. I do not want to eat 10 cookies every day. Here is the program that I write. I eat 10 cookies every day. I do not want to eat 10 cookies every day. Thank you. Starting tomorrow, I will eat 10 cookies. Then tomorrow comes, you eat 10 cookies, the next days, weeks, months, whatever. You're still eating 10 cookies, you see? So now, using the ratio that I have, 80-20, what that means, y'all, is this. 80% of the time, I stick to eating 10 cookies. 20% of the time, that's my wiggle room. That's what I call it. That's my wiggle room. I can go back up to eating 11 cookies. I can even go back up to eating 12. See? So I've allowed for that. But in most cases, you're only going to eat the 10 cookies. You're going to honor your program. Now, I do not read. I do not read any kind of comments that's more than 3 characters. I mean, the 3 lines. If it's more than 3 lines, it will be removed because I don't have time to sit there and read all. Listen, I have 4 pillars of advice to share with y'all. So don't put in no comments that are like so long. My God, if I was to read all of these comments, I wouldn't have time to share the advice that I have to share. So don't bother. Please don't. You're wasting your time. They're going to be removed. Okay? So now, yes, I don't have time. off of here about 5:30, 5:35, and I still got 3 more pillars to share. Okay, so hopefully y'all can see that. Now, let me think here. I think I'm finished. Oh yeah, I already showed y'all the example that you can use to change any behavior that you have. And so stop trying to change other people's behaviors. And the other people's behaviors that you're trying to change, those people are looking at you, wondering how come you're not working on yourself. All of us need to be working on ourselves. The only behavior you can change is your own behavior. Okay, so now, pillar number 2. Increase your level of patience. Increase your level of patience. If you are 10 years old or older, I tell you exactly how you increase your level of patience, your own level of patience. But I always start with the toddler. So if you are raising toddlers, when that toddler asks for a cookie, or toddlers, tell that toddler, I'm going to go with singular, one toddler, tell that toddler, I'll give you the cookie in 5 minutes. Put yourself on the timer. Give that toddler the cookie in 5 minutes. Do that several times, still using the timer. Stretch it to 10 minutes. Do that several times, still using the timer. Stretch it all the way up to an hour or more. What you will be teaching that toddler not only is patience, you will also be teaching that toddler how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time. Now, Spirit came to me and told me, Joyce, your viewers may want to know how they can learn how they can teach themselves how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time. So some of y'all would be interested. So I'm going to take a sip of tea while I give y'all some time to get a piece of paper and something to write with. I'm going to count to 10 seconds while I drink some tea, and then I'll be back to tell you it's a fun, short, easy exercise. I'm going to tell you. Good morning. So now, well, I still use paper. I'm a retired executive assistant. I still use paper. So now, write down the time that it is right now, whatever time zone you're in. And then some time pass, and put that paper away. And then at some point in a little while, try to guess what time it is at that point. And see how close you'll come to feeling elapsed time. Do that several times every day. Now, I do that all day long, and I don't have to have a pencil and paper or anything like that. So you can use that every day, all day long, and you will be teaching yourself how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time. Now, if you are 10 years old or older, I'm going to tell you exactly how you teach yourself patience, how you increase your level of patience. Write a program. Excuse me. Say it out loud. I am teaching myself patience. I am increasing my level of patience. I am teaching myself how to wait. Especially if it's something that you are fiending for, especially if it's something that you normally would give yourself immediate gratification for, make yourself wait. Make yourself wait. That is the way you teach yourself patience. Just make yourself wait. If you make yourself wait past the point where you don't want it anymore, that's fabulous. It's really fabulous because it means that you are stronger than whatever it was. You always were, but you never challenged yourself. So make yourself wait. That is the way you teach yourself patience. You increase your own level of patience. Okay? Now, pillar number 3. Stay calm. Stay calm. Pillar number 3. There is tremendous power in your ability to stay calm. You lose power when you become angry, upset, frustrated, aggravated. Good morning. So stay calm. Now, during my live, one of the lives that I did this year was a TikTok live. So Spirit came to me, and this was between the time of 4 o'clock and 5:15, and told me to use the word neurons. I had never used the word neurons before in any of my lives. So I knew vaguely what it meant. It's part of the brain. And so I was using the word neurons, and Spirit gives me these helpful hand visuals. So Spirit gave me this helpful hand visual to show how your neurons work. You know, they're communicating with each other and going past each other. Yeah, so that's what your neurons are doing. Now, I was talking about in pillar number 3, as opposed to you becoming angry. Spirit gave me this helpful hand visual to show y'all the angry part. So now, here is when you are angry, here's what your neurons are doing. You see? Now, Spirit came back to me that same night and told me, look up what neurons do. Honest to goodness, Spirit came back to me and told me to look up what neurons do. I obeyed what Spirit said. I Googled it, and this is what Google said. Neurons work together to produce memories, make decisions, and compute information. They take chemical signals, transport them, and form new wiring within the brain. Neurons also help different parts of the brain to communicate with each other. That is why you cannot think straight when you're angry or upset. That is why you cannot make good choices, good decisions. You do things that you're sorry for. You say things that you're sorry for. When you stay calm, you have a calm mind. You think before you speak. You think before you act. There is power in your ability to stay calm. So, stay calm. Think about your neurons. The next time you get angry or start to get angry, think about your neurons. They should be doing like this. Just going straight around, going straight, and all of that. When you become angry, okay, here's what they do. Think about your neurons, y'all. Think. Okay, now pillar number 4. There are only 4 pillars, y'all. Pillar number 4 is remember the 4 words. I'm always too blessed to be stressed. Remember the 4 words that can immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, anger, frustration, any of those things. Those 4 words are, this too shall pass. 4 words, y'all. This too shall pass. No situation in life lasts. No scenario in life lasts. Okay? To each his own, Mo. So now, remember, if your mama is fussing at you or your daddy is fussing at you, they cannot read your mind. So sit there or stand there and get fussed at. But say this. This too shall pass. She ain't gonna be fussing at me forever. Or my sinuses, y'all. nose itching, eyes running too. This too shall pass. He ain't gonna be fussing at me forever. Just remember, those 4 words, this too shall pass, will get you through probably 90% of the ugly situations that you get into. Okay? I'm going to say at least 80%, but I say probably 90%. This too shall pass. Just remember those words. It'll calm you immediately. Just remember, it ain't going to last. Okay? So now, I told y'all that I'm an author as well. Go to goodshortbooks.com. The link is in my profile. Excuse me, I got a cough. The link is in my profile. There are 11 nonfiction books there. 11. My sister wrote 1 and I wrote 10. Show you the way spirit works, y'all. My first book I wrote on purpose. I'm the oldest of 7. And I wanted to document the way that our parents raised us. We all think that they did such a fabulous job of raising us that I really wanted to put it on paper. And I wanted to preserve it so that it would not die off when we all die out when we all died off. So we have our oldest brother already passed in 2013. He had lung cancer. I don't do religion, Milford. So don't talk about Jesus Christ. So I don't do religion or politics. I think they both suck. I can't stand either one of them. So don't do religion or politics on my lives. I share advice that will help you to undifficult your life. So now back to the books. 11. So the first book that I wrote it on purpose because I wanted to document the way that our parents raised us. And let me tell you, spirit works in mysterious ways. I had no clue I was going to write 9 other books. It was not on my to-do list. It was not on my goals. It was nowhere. So what happened to me, y'all? Spirit, unbeknownst to me, Spirit was pouring these words into me, knowing that I was going to write these books. So I cannot explain it. I did not have any desire to write. I only wrote the first one, and that's called Line of Serenity. So check it out, y'all. My sister wrote 1 book, and I wrote 10. And her book is a memoir, and the very first book that I wrote, Line of Serenity, is also a memoir. And here, I'll just show you these too. Her book is a memoir, My 15 Dogs, a 55-year journey of love. It's 59 pages, and it's $7.99 at goodshortbooks.com. If you love dogs, you will absolutely love her book. You will laugh and you will cry. And if you own dogs, you'll understand why I say that. And now my book, the very first book that I wrote, is entitled Line of Serenity. It's 167 pages, which includes 22 pages of my own recipes, the same recipes that are in The Best Way to Keep a Man is to Let Him Go. And it's 167 pages, which includes the recipes and also 22 pages of pictures, because it's a memoir, and I have pictures of some of the people that I talk about in the book. And so it's a wonderful gift and this is $12.99 at goodshortbooks.com. Oh, you will love her book, My 15 Dogs, a 55-year journey of love. That's this one. Okay. So now, and I have pictures of some of the people that I talk about in the book, and this one is $12.99. It's a fabulous gift for people in your family that are like 70 years old or older, because I talk about stuff that they probably haven't thought about in many, many years. Excuse me. And for younger readers, it's a peek into the way things used to be done. It goes from 1944, that's the year I was born, to 1977. That's the year that our mother became an angel. So now the books are flying off the shelves, y'all, because people are coming onto my lives and they are learning about the books. The books will absolutely, they will inspire you. They will delight you. They will entertain you. They will encourage you. They will motivate you. They will do all kinds of good stuff. And like I said, we have 3 price categories: $7.99, $9.99, and $12.99. Oh, thank you. I love y'all too, because most of you appreciate the advice that I share. I live this advice, y'all. I'm 81 years old. I've been living this advice since I was about 10. So, all right, where was I? Oh, so I just want y'all to implement these 4 pillars. Pillar number 1, develop and maintain a positive attitude. And I told you how you do that. All you have to do is write the program and you say it out loud. And this is what you say. This is the program that you write when you say this out loud. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. That means that from now on, I don't care what your attitude was like 5 minutes ago, you choose to have a positive attitude. So that means from now on. So you can tell the people around you that you live with or go to school with, whatever, I'm going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. So don't throw it up in my face as to what I was last week or yesterday, So I ain't that no more, okay? Yeah. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So that's all you got to do. Write that program. Now, pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. I told you exactly how you do that. If you're 10 years old or older, you write a program, you say, I am increasing my level of patience. I am teaching myself how to wait. Say it out loud. Pillar number 3, stay calm. Remember your neurons, y'all. Please remember your neurons. Think about it when you see somebody angry. You can think about what their neurons are doing. Ooh, wee, okay? So that's what yours do too. Remember this. That's not what you want. You want this. You want this. Okay? All right. So, yeah, patience is a virtue. Then, pillar number 4, remember the 4 words. This too shall pass. Those 4 words will immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, anger, frustration. This too shall pass. Remember that. Nothing lasts. Okay? So now, if y'all enjoyed my live, you can do a video and tag me. You can do a post and tag me. If you got something out of it, then spread the word. I love doing these, y'all. Like I tell my man, I live a virtually stress-free life, and I am very happy to share how I do it with y'all. Yeah. Oh, you're very welcome. Let's do a screenshot. So, spread the word. I hope that y'all will spread the word, because I don't know how YouTube works. I'm trying to figure it out now. I just came over from TikTok. I've done over 500 TikTok lives. So, and if y'all go over to TikTok, my username is JJ Fields and the number 7. The letter J, and Fields, Fields, and the number 7. That's what my TikTok username is. Okay, and I'm still on TikTok. I post there every day, but I do my lives here on YouTube. Now, I close my lives with this book, My Simple Quotes to Live By. It's 90 pages. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I want to read y'all the genres. I didn't even think about that. Now, I told y'all the books are flying off the shelves. Here are the genres. Nonfiction, y'all. All of them are nonfiction, 11 of them. Here are the memoirs, Lord have mercy. Here are the genres. Memoirs, parenting, relationships, children's education, fairy tales. My fairy tale is nonfiction. Bullying, original quotes, health, and spirituality. Those are the genres. And this one is original quotes. It's 90 pages. It's 167 quotes that I coined, and it's $7.99 at goodshortbooks.com. Thanks, Shells. The link is in my profile. The fourth pillar is remember the 4 words, this too shall pass. Okay, now, I coined my first quote when I was 15 years old. Never lose your hope and faith. Never lose your hope and faith. I coined this, my first quote, in 1959 at the age of 15. The occasion was my middle school graduation from Detroit's Sherrard Junior High School. 9th graders were asked to document their message to their fellow classmates. Oh, you're welcome. That's what I said. I didn't know that I was coining a quote, and I don't remember saying it. But now, this quote, I do remember that I'm coining a quote, and I do remember saying it. So this quote I coined in 2011 or 13, and it was for a quote contest. So it was for a calendar, so they wanted 12 quotes. I coined this quote, and then I submitted it to the contest, and it won as one of 12 for the calendar out of over 5,000 entries. Okay? Now, I post this quote to social media to encourage people to chase their dreams. Here's the quote. It's better to die chasing a dream never caught than to die never having chased the dream. Okay? I'm going to repeat the quote. It's better to die chasing a dream never caught than to die never having chased the dream. Chase your dreams, people. Chase your dreams. Nobody can see your dream as clearly as you can, and you can't see anybody else's dream as clearly as they can. So do chase your dreams. Don't allow anybody to poo-poo your dream, and don't you poo-poo anyone else's. Chase your dreams. The way this book is formatted, it's 90 pages. This is what's on page 90. The end. Now, the way it's formatted is 2 quotes per page. The quotes are in all caps, separated by a black and white picture. Now, I'm going to open up the floor. Y'all can toss out some page numbers. It's better to die chasing a dream never caught than to die never having chased a dream. That one is on page 11. So you can toss out page numbers, pages 6 to 89. And then I'll read the 2 quotes on the page. 33 and 44. That must be some of your lucky numbers. Okay. Okay, at the top of page 33, this is for Queen. Be a leader, not a follower. Always think for yourself. At the bottom of page 33, don't take life for granted. Tune in. Be aware. Okay, page 44 at the top. Do not long mourn your past. Rejoice in your present and your future. At the bottom of page 44, procrastination slows down progress. Can y'all live by those quotes? Okay. Page 22. At the top of page 22, yesterday is gone, but we can take the reins of today, of right now. At the bottom of page 22, do you act as though you value things more than you value people? Okay, can you live by those quotes? Page 11, at the top of page 11, it's better to die chasing a dream never caught than to die never having chased the dream. At the bottom of page 11, yeah, I know. A marriage license is not a certificate of ownership. I should have just read the last. Well, maybe she wasn't here when I read the first one. I don't know. Okay. Okay, page 28 for Michael Simpson. Page 28. At the top of page 28, take care of yourself so that you may take care of others. At the bottom of page 28, as a human being, you are no better than anyone else, and no one else is any better than you. Can you live by those quotes? I'm going to read page 66, and that's the end of it. I'm going to get off of here. In the meantime, I want y'all to use those 4 pillars. Page 66 at the top. Don't be driven by fear. You'll end up on the wrong road. At the bottom of page 66. The older you get, the easier life gets if you're learning from your observations and experiences. Okay, that's it. Come back tomorrow. Thank you for joining my live. I hope you got something out of it. I'm sure a lot of you did. Now, if you did, just thank you. My Simple Quotes to Live By, $7.99 at goodshortbooks.com. The link is in my profile. If you did get something out of this, you can do a video. You can do a post. You can tell people what you got out of the advice that I share. So I love doing this. I love doing these lives. You're very welcome. So come back tomorrow. Thank you. I hope that y'all will implement the 4 pillars. Pillar number 1, develop and maintain a positive attitude. I told you how you do that. Pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. If you're 10 years old or older, I told you exactly how you do that. Pillar number 3, stay calm. And pillar number 4, remember the 4 words that can immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, all of that stuff. This too shall pass. And when it comes to staying calm, remember your neurons. Your neurons are doing like this when you're upset or angry. They should be doing like this. They should just be gliding, okay? Think about it. Remember your neurons if you start to get angry. Come back tomorrow, y'all. Thanks for joining. Spread the word for me.